Alright, so the devs been trying to get me to play this game for a minute now, and I finally have some time to sit down and try it and play it. This is Nocturnal Nemesis, and I wanted to give my take on it because while there have been a lot of improvements, there are also some more improvements that could make the game a little better. I played through the game. I didn't finish it because I was confused on really what to do and how to play. It wasn't quite clear because, well, we'll just go through the video and check it out. Alright, so it looks like they changed up the home screen here. And let me just pause and talk about this for a minute. So the home screen should have more than just play and exit. That was the first issue I had with the game, and I thought it would have more with the update, but it looks like it's the same thing, but now it's even darker. So at least a settings menu or a continue menu. I don't know how long the game is. I think it's 20 minutes, and that's kind of a long time for a gameplay or a night. I don't know how many nights we have, so there should be a little bit more than just play and exit and new game on the home screen. So that's my first issue with the game. So let's continue. So now we hit new game. We're in the game here. This was a nice touch. I like the fact that you typed out, you have this little type animation for the instructions. So the instructions weren't quite clear to me, especially, let me pause this again, the section where it says repairs. If something malfunctions, pay attention. Okay, we pay attention, but how do we fix it? You say at the bottom here, you'll see 0% power and hear a shutdown. Look at the laptop screen and type fix to restore your power. That's how you fix it. I got that. What more do we need to pay attention to if the power is like so blatantly obvious? All right, and that's the only thing that I came across in the game so far that really draws my attention, because you can't move. One, you're in the same place, you're looking at cameras, and everything happens in that room with the computer for the most part. So I didn't really quite get this pay attention part, because nothing subtle happens for you that you might miss. Moving on from that. Oh, and while I'm on it too, the controllers are hard for me. So we have T, but we don't use R. We use E and T, and then we type in fix. Why E and T? Why can't we use the WASD or something that is a little like with buttons that are closer to each other? So I don't understand why the buttons are scattered like that. I'm gonna try to just keep them together, because I find myself hitting R a bunch of times and that doesn't do anything. So I think the controllers could use some work as well. We're moving on. As this continues to type here, I wanted to know, why can't we have an option to skip this? You don't have the option to skip anything in the game at this point. So if I die, I'm starting all over. I have to listen to the recordings all again and playing the game from new. So add a skip button in there to pick up where you left off, so it's easier for folks to get back into the game ASAP. Oh, and this reverse, it's the same thing with the animation going backwards for the typing. Yeah, why do we have it typing backwards like this? Like going backwards? Why not just erase it and just put the next set of instructions, type that out? Right mouse click to zoom. The nights had, like I said, 20 minutes. First 3 nights are pretty simple. I couldn't get through the first night. I don't get it. But moving on, we're gonna skip the recording. So I'm gonna let it finish recording. Alright, so first of all, let me say I like the new look and feel of it, but it's just way too dark. That's one. It's way too dark. I like the music and the sound effects you added. Those are great, but it also could use some jump scares. So you have some elements that has improved quite a bit. The game still needs a little bit of work. So going through this, like the storage, I wasn't quite sure what to do in these rooms. And the robot's crawling around here. I'll get to the robot in a minute, but I just kind of want to get through some of the gameplay here, which isn't really much, because even though we have these instructions on what to do, everything happens in the room with the laptop. You can't interact with anything in any of the other rooms. You can't close any doors. You can't turn off any lights. You can't do anything but in the main room. I found myself confused on really what to do, because I couldn't interact with anything. So I'm gonna let it play for a little bit here, uninterrupted. Then I'll come back and talk about some more things that I like to see. with the power going out there, right? I heard that just fine. There was no point of even paying attention. I couldn't have missed that. Everything goes dark. The timer is not accurate. I noticed the timer on the computer isn't accurate. You know, I get it. I don't want to draw this video out too much because it's such a short game and it's such a short play. The robot needs some work, all right? And the robot needs a lot of work. There's nothing ominous or scary about him. In fact, while the sound effects were a nice addition to the game, some animation would be great. You know, some jump scares would be great. Some things would pop up on the screen, you know, would be great. I think about the Five Nights at Freddy game that I used to play. I'll see if I can find some footage and put it up. But that game did it like perfectly with the jump scares. I don't know if you're trying to go for that feel with this game, but it definitely has some potentials. You have made a huge improvement, but there's still, like I said, some things that you need to address before you release it again. Give us the option to adjust the screen or the resolution or the brightness, things like that, because again, it was just so dark. Going back to the robot, I know I'm jumping around a lot here. I didn't write anything down. I'm just kind of like freeballing it. The robot gets stuck a lot. All right, and not only that, when he goes out on all fours, what does that symbolizes? What is that supposed to do? I thought that's when he was getting ready to like come through the door and attack us. When he does attack us, it doesn't show anything happening. It just pops up your dead screen. So that could use some work. I know I'm a little late to this, and there are a lot of other videos that address some of the things that I spoke about in greater detail. So I don't want to sound like a dead horse just beating us, you know, talking about the same thing. See, he's stuck right here and he's just not going anywhere. So what's the deal here? And I think he was trying to turn, but it took forever for him to turn. So clearly a lot of stuff you needed to work on. The phone rang at some point and I couldn't pick up the phone. I didn't know what button to press to pick up the phone. Again, this goes back to the menu situation. If I had a menu on how to know how to pick up the phone, I'd have picked it up if I could pick it up. You know what I mean? So a lot of things that I would like to see, and I couldn't even finish the game. I played it for about an hour and I kept dying. So this door is the only door we can interact with. Literally the only door we can interact with. I thought with the new update we were able to interact with some of the other doors on those cameras, but that's really not how it works. We click this button on the wall to close the door, and we watch the camera. We watch all the cameras. That's pretty much the premise of the game. I don't want to go on and on about it, but it's a great improvement. Still needs a lot of work, and I appreciate you reaching out to me and wanting me to play it and try it, but it's just not at a level where, you know, I can really beat it. That's all I gotta say about it. If you do continue to work on it some more and would like to reach out again and have me try it, I'm all for it. We're going through this process together. Before I even go, this thing where it was beeping, what is this beeping thing? I'm trying to hit fix, repair. I don't understand what the beep is for. And then I'm dead. Now granted, the music, the sound effect, the death sound effect is kind of scary. You know, it kind of makes me jump a little bit. But again, no animation. It doesn't make me like, oh, you know, it doesn't give me that reaction. He just pops up and he just stands there. You're dead. You still have a lot of work to do, and I wish you all the best in refining it and making it more enjoyable for the players, because right now as a gamer it's not completely cohesive or enjoyable for me. All right, that's not to bash the game. I'm just saying it's just not ready in my opinion yet. There's still a lot of stuff, still a lot of work you need to do on it. All right, so that's my opinion on it. All right, take it for what it's worth, and I'll see y'all in another video. All right, take care. Peace.